Okay, in this video I'm going to show you guys how you can crochet with a graph. This is a graph, which is just like a pixel design, like some art drawn in squares. Sometimes it's a square, sometimes it's a rectangle, sometimes it's a really big rectangle with lots of teeny little pixels. And so I just want to show you guys how to crochet with one of these. And so if you get a pattern and you're usually going to have a picture of your graph, and each square on that graph is going to represent one stitch of your pattern. And your graph or your pattern that you purchase it should tell you what stitch to use. And so for this pattern we're going to use a single crochet stitch, and then it will usually also come with written instructions if you don't want to just follow the graph like the visual, if you just want to print written instructions instead. And so your written instructions will look like a variation of this, where it will show you what row 1 is. So it'll say row 1, and it says RS means right side, WS means wrong side. So this is handy if you want to know, if you want to keep track of, like, let's say you're crocheting something that's not symmetrical like this, but it's, you know, a word. You're making a word out of pixels. And you want to kind of know, if you're not looking at the graph, you want to know like what side you're on. You're on the side that's the right side, which is like the side that doesn't show the word backwards. And so the arrows will help with that too. So if you look at the arrow and you want to kind of know, okay, row 1, I know that it's going from left to right. So here's row 1, and we know that we're following it from this stitch all the way to this stitch. Row 2 is left to right. That one's left to right. That one's right to left. Sorry, this one's left to right. So right to left, left to right, and we'll be on the wrong side with row 2. So again, if it wasn't a symmetrical piece like this, it would matter. So you could just ignore that. And then A, for this one, your pattern will come with abbreviations for each color. So for this pattern, I abbreviated color A as the white square and color B as the dark square. And so sometimes your pattern will say BLU, it'll mean like blue, and it'll have your pattern that you purchase or that you look at a blog or something, it will tell you what each color on the written instructions represents so that you won't get confused. And so, yeah, so for row 1, it'll say, okay, color A times 12 stitches. So we know that row 1 is in color A and it's going to be 12 stitches. And then row 2, we're going to have 1A, so 1A, and then a B, and then it'll be A times 3, so 3 stitches of A. Sometimes it'll just say like A3, and you'll know that's 3A. Sometimes it doesn't have the X. And then it'll be 2 stitches of B, 3A, B and A. And so you'll just follow it like that. Okay. So to start following your graph, you're going to see how many squares are going to be in your first row right here. And so you know that it's 12, which means there's going to be 12 stitches. And down here you'll see it says row 1, it's going to be the color A, and I've decided the color A is going to be light blue, and it's going to be 12. But to start our initial starting chain for this row, we're going to chain 13, and then the first row will be 12. So let's do that. So just throw your yarn on your hook. I'm just using a worsted weight yarn and a size 4 hook. So we're going to chain 13. There we have it, 13. And so to start row 1, we know it's going to be 12. So we're going to single crochet into the second chain from our hook and single crochet into every single chain down, and we'll have a total of 12. we have 12. You're going to turn your work and then look at row 2. We know it's going to be going left to right. This is a very symmetrical pattern, so it really doesn't matter which way you're looking because it's the same on both sides, but it's nice to follow if you're doing like a letter or something that isn't symmetrical. And so our first stitch is going to be in color A, and then we're going to grab color B into our second stitch in B. So our first stitch, we're not chaining one or anything, we're just going to crochet right into that first stitch. So single crochet, and then we're going to grab our next color, and this is how I just add it on. Just wrap it around here. Oh, hold on, let me pull some out. Just wrap it around your hook and pull through. Pull this one tight. And then we're going to single crochet, and I'm going to single crochet around these two tails right here so that they come with me. So I'm going to insert my hook into that second stitch and single crochet, and you can see that these are underneath that stitch. They're just tucked right in there, so they'll come with this. I'm going to drop this tail and look at my pattern. We have 3 white or 3 color A, so yarn over and pull through, pull tight to switch to your next color. We're going to lay this flat against our piece so we can single crochet around it and do 3 single crochets in color A. So 1, 2, and 3. Okay. Next, we have 2 in color B. So yarn over, pull through, and then pull A tight. And go ahead and do 2B, 2 stitches in color B. And then next we have 3A. Three A, 1B, and then 1A. I'm going to drop this color. Okay, and that's row 2. And your pattern will specify whether or not you're doing single crochets or half double crochets or double crochets. You can do this technique with lots of different stitches. You'll just have to look and see what your pattern wants you to do. Okay, so row 3 is going left to right, or I'm sorry, right to left. It's going to be 2A, 1B, 1A, 4B, 1A, 1B, and then 2A again. So let's start with row 3, 2A. So turn your work, and we're going to do 2 stitches in color A. So here's 1. And then I'm just going to go up around this tail to kind of carry it with me into that second stitch. Oh, hold on. Start over. Okay, so that was 1, and now we're going to do that second one. So just kind of move that tail with you. So it looks like that. So we have 2 stitches in A, 1B, so let's do 1, switch your colors, 1 color of B, 1A, like that. Then we have 4B. So we're carrying our yarn with us, remember. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we have 1A, 1B, and 2A. So let's just get those done. So 1A, 1B, and then the last two are A, and we're just going to drop our color B and single crochet 2A without carrying that color B. Okay, so there's 3 rows there. Turn your work, and let's do row 4. So row 4, we're going left to right. So we're going to start with 4A. So 1, 2, going to make sure this tail is tucked right there so that we stitch around it. So there's 3, and there's 4. So 4A, 4B, and 4A. So there's 4B, and then 4A. Oh, I didn't want to carry that with me though. Hold on. I'm going to drop the blue and not carry it with me at the last 4 stitches just because I don't need it. Okay. So there are the first 4 rows. Row 5 is going to be right to left. So we're going to do 2A, 2B, 1A, 2B, 1A, 2B, 2A. So let's do 2A. Okay, then we're going to grab the B from right here and bring it over. Make sure you leave enough tension, or leave the tension loose enough to make sure you can get through there, because it starts over here and we want to get these 2 stitches right here. So 2B, okay, 1A, and then we have 2B, then we have 1A, two B, and then 2A, and I went ahead and just dropped the B color. Okay, so turn your work, and that's 5 rows. And then I'm going to go ahead and finish the entire rest of the graph and show you what it looks like at the end. Okay, so I'm all done with all 12 rows of this graph. I'm just going to cut the blue, but I'm not going to cut the light blue yet, because when I'm done doing a graph like this, if I'm going to attach it to another one, like a granny square, I like to crochet, single crochet border around. So I just chain 1, and then I just go down this edge and just put my hook in evenly as possible down the edge. And I try to make sure I count my stitches to make sure that I have the same amount on all the sides. And you can kind of see if you spread it out where you can put the hook. So I would put it through here, 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 here. There's like little openings for you. You can try and make it 12 since the other sides are going to be 12 as well. How many do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so I do have 12. So I'm going to chain 1. And then I'm going to single crochet along all 12 of the bottom chains, the starting chains. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Chain 1. And then I'm going to single crochet 12 up this next side, and I'm going to wrap the stitches around this tail to secure it from when we started. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to drop the tail now because I think I can cut it after that. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, chain 1. And then go right into the first stitch from the top and do 12 across that top row so that it's all even. Whoop. Okay, there's 12, and then we're just going to slip stitch right here into the corner, cut a long piece if you're going to attach a bunch together, and pull through to tie off. Okay, and there you have a nice little square made from this graph right here. I don't know, it's kind of hard to tell what it was. You can block it and use more contrasting colors, but I wanted to show you guys a graph that was a little bit more complicated and not just like one, you know, piece in the middle with like two, you know, color A, color B, color A, and that's it. I wanted to show like the breaks in between each color.